Okay, so I'm going to talk about these cards here from some kind of game that gives away the occult kind of culture. Okay, these ideas, right? This sort of ball-like bullhorn, this sort of kind of energy halo. Okay, his kind of dark look is a common theme in the occult, right? Look at his face, seems to be like another face right here. They like the hidden images. This kind of rock and roll occultist look is also a common kind of theme. It's pervasive in popular culture in the occult. You look at Crowley, Hollywood, heavy metal, the rock and roll that's more satanic, punk rock, what have you. Okay, and certainly some thugs in popular culture, the movies, what have you, take on certain looks that are similar to these guys, right? The big guy, the skinnier thug. Okay. I want you to keep in mind that my earlier in my videos I was a very angry guy, and I like those videos better. Even though that they, in some ways, they made it harder for me to make videos back then. Part of it is how much research I've done now compared to then. But I was very angry, and we're gonna show you some pictures. I'm gonna show you some pictures. You're gonna see some pictures. I was gonna say we're gonna see some pictures, but I've seen them already. So you're gonna see some pictures in this video that make it clear that I was right to be angry. So first of all, let's talk about the deity of drain, right? Here it says you can't spend mana, right? And of course, in the Bible, the Jews are fed by God with the manna from the sky. When he's trying to win them over, they're complaining as Moses is leading them out of Egypt. Okay. So it says, deep in the desert sleeps a dark god. Okay. Whoever awakens it will be drained of all that makes him human. Speech, pride, and imagination, the book of the ancients. Believe it or not, something extremely similar to this is taking place. So you see with this over here, we get Joven, drained of soul. Okay, planeswalker, right? Remember I told you wings stand for traversing. He has no wings. He's just using psychology or whatever he's doing, witchcraft. Okay, Drovan, Dravan. Draw down, the V can be a down on is Ra's cause center, Heliopolis. We'll get to that later. Ra in Hebrew actually means evil, and it confuses things. That's why the Bible says, woe to you who call good evil and evil good. It's actually the language itself, because the majority of Jews, even in their own Bible, were idolaters. And in the Torah, in the Old Testament, it talks about how they're trying to, the prophets are trying to appeal to God, saying that their ancestors were wicked and what they're doing is wicked. Okay, it's a long story why that is to get it more precise, but let's look at this here real quickly. Create a 2/2 black dro horror with life link. Up to X target creatures gain pain bond until end of turn. Up to X target creatures gain life link until end of turn. So there, notice it's a game. Okay, right? And over here, I showed you this in the last video. It says the devil's game, right? They're playing a game. The devil is some kind of beta. No, he doesn't have a martial art look. He's some kind of skinny-like guy in that depiction, like this skinny guy. And he's also depicted quite often as a big, scary, strong guy. This is not a coincidence. Guys like this, and like this, and like this do not like Royal African Falcon martial art heroes who can outmaneuver them easily. Okay? And that also goes back to, real briefly, I showed you this in other videos, this, right, those guys will be outmaneuvered easily by me as well, because God chose me and not them. And also these people or these statues are based on. It's not a coincidence when these guys go as far as to do this, that they don't want guys like me. So what do? They try to get people hooked on drugs, like cocaine, prescription pills, right? They're trying to get me on psych pills all my life. Heroin, methamphetamines, fentanyl, crocodile, what have you. Okay, ecstasy, what have you, even marijuana to some degree. Okay, and they're also deep state, because this is more associated with sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And then kind of military, kind of bigger body guys, psychological operations units, black ops, and they want to put substances and materials in the water, in the air, that would drain you, that would keep you from having appropriate brain function, because your brain kind of distributes resources. It helps you have sense, right? It's the essential alpha essence to sense the presence of God. But how much sense I have at this point doesn't matter, because I've done so much greatness as the King of Kings ever, and I've achieved the natural pinnacle of martial arts that no one ever has achieved and no one ever will. It is pinnacled out, and no valid martial arts will continue after I'm gone. Now listen carefully. Okay, this video is important. This next picture, okay, remember this is a documentary, so I'm going to put it a little higher up so you don't see so much of the blood, okay? These are some demons wearing armor. This guy is depicted as an angel, doesn't have armor on. He has the armor of God. These guys have the armor of this world, some kind of metal, right? Alchemy, okay, chemistry, okay, metallurgy, what have you. Okay, metal making, smiths, right? Hephaestus, Ptah, deities of blacksmithing. And here you have him stabbing him in the head symbolically. This guy rubbing his stomach. This guy, it looks like he's stabbing his throat, okay? Because they don't want him to think righteous thoughts and to speak righteous thoughts and to consume the bread of God's presence, spiritually speaking. Notice their weapons too. They're very, kind of battle axe, a brute force weapon, a brute weapon. Here we have Apollo, okay, unknown artist, okay, and he's depicted almost identically as Luciferian. Lucifer is in the Luciferianism Wikipedia article at that time on Wikipedia. Okay, and we have this. So basically, look at this. Look at it like this way. Apollo is a deity of science, light, knowledge, what have you, right? He's one of these tree of knowledge deities. Okay, like Enki, our deity of knowledge and magic and fertility and semen. He has his own cult and phallic symbol and so on and so forth. He's a fertility deity as well. Okay, so he has this kind of weird kind of face. Things are going his way. Think of like Bezos or something. You know what I'm saying? He's like, hey, I'm a nerd, and oh, things are going my way. Come on, guys, come on. He goes, no, the top martial artist is black, and he's here. No. And then so he goes, and he starts acting like a weirdo. Look at his face, right? It's a crazed face, right? This guy is a weirdo who has an alter ego that is Lucifer. Okay, he's also so-called a deity of quote unquote light, just like Apollo. And he's a pagan deity. He's not allowed by true people who fear God and worship God. And he is depicted naked. I had to put a little thing over his, his private parts there. And you see these people are here miserable, right? Just like the board of education, being bored, right? They're miserable, okay? And school backwards is looks, right? Bored in looks. Because these guys are concerned with looking good, and they don't want everyone to be like, oh, African, like, hey, we're dancing around. Okay, and I don't necessarily approve of how these guys are doing. That's a story for another day. I went over that in another video, kind of. Okay, he wants everyone to be miserable. He's like, be bored and fucking worship me and send all your hot chicks here. And that's why that's part of why they're gold diggers. You're gonna be miserable, poor people, and I'm rich and I'm Apollo. You see what I'm saying? Pretty straightforward. Just like with Johnny Cage, look at the similarities, the commonalities. The Masons say, what are the commonalities? Apollo is an arrogant, full of himself. He's like, I am a god. Okay, and so does Johnny Cage. I'm like the god of the cage fighting. I am the god of the video game. And I'm a movie star. I'm Van Damme. Right? It's fucking retarded. Okay, you see what I'm saying? If you don't know, then I'm right. My goodness, folks. My goodness. Yes, they cheated me. Yes, the children who were aligned to the deity of Drain. Okay, it's D-Ra-In, okay, D-Ra-In, okay, they want people to go into the earth, right? Jesus said to the Jews, he's from above, they're from below, or in to the earth, digging a tunnel in the earth, okay, D-Ra-In, Drain, okay, of soul. The word soul is a play on words for loss or lose, okay, and also loose all for erotic desire and the accompanying whores. When females start dancing to the devil's tune, okay, a bunch of LGBT people, okay, do with their orgy thing, they do their sex cult thing, their witch cult thing, you get it right, it is despicable, Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, Lady Gaga, you can imagine what they're doing behind the scenes, okay, and that also drains their soul. There's more than one way they're draining you. They're draining your brain by getting you to focus on their worldly craft and so on and so forth, and sciences and activities and working hard in the sun and their unfair system, the way it's structured. I mean, I can go on and on and on. Okay, so, feel free to, put in the comments. There's a lot of things that I could talk about that don't all come to mind right now, and I have a lot to do. But I'll tell you, there's many ways to drain people. They drain me. I'm feeling drained right now to some degree from all the fumes and all the hard work I did and all the stuff I printed out trying to explain things to people. On and on and on and on. The sex cult thing. Sex drains you of your energy. Okay? Who, what, when, where, how, why. And you see these kind of Freemason, kind of Eastern Star looking chick right there. It says free lover, right? And what do you think they do? If there's millions of Masons in the world and true love is banned, do you think they're on the side of true love? No.